The FBI is looking into a theft to see if it poses a threat to national security. Federal officers say that 2 laptops and equipment were stolen from the Federal Center at a building in New Haven. The laptops run a program that provides identification cards to workers with seaport access. Spokesman Christopher White says the stolen laptops don't pose any security risk.
Now, New Haven residents are all too familiar with their mass transit, taxis, buses, and trains. But Yale officials say the zip car like this Toyota Matrix right here will shine a new light on public transportation in New Haven. Connecticut's Department of Consumer Protection found 25 incorrectly priced items at this Shaw's supermarket in Hamden. This has local consumers concerned. The course superintendent told me that despite the nation's harsh economic times, Sleeping Giant Golf Course will remain an affordable alternative for those seeking 9 holes in 2009. I'm Anthony Filiaci, Q30 News. Mayor Craig Henrici says that budget will be about 0.6% lower than that of 2008. Outside Hamden Town Hall, I'm Anthony Filiaci, QNN. State officials say that the Connecticut Free Summer Lunch Program will serve as many as 33,000 youngsters this summer. I'm Anthony Filiaci, QNN. As unemployment is going up in the Empire State, so too is college tuition. Both New York residents and students from out of state will have to pay more to attend colleges in the State University of New York system. Students from New York will see their tuition go up by about 7% and about by 9% for students out of state. This is the first time tuition has gone up in the SUNY system since 2003. The tuition hike will take effect in January. Coming up next on QNN, in a state known for its elderly population, there is a big push to get young voters out to the polls in Florida.
And Barack Obama is getting help from his former rival's husband, Bill Clinton. We'll have these stories and more after the break.
Mourning a lost family member is never easy, especially when that family member is a victim of city violence. As Anthony Filiaci tells us, the city of New Haven is trying to limit a common way of mourning around the city.
You know, mine is right in my sister's yard. I walk over where my son died at every time I go to my sister's house.
Douglas Bethia lost his son 1 year ago in a brutal shooting on Ashman Street. He constructed this memorial to both honor and mourn his family's loss. The memorial is a constant reminder of the pain surrounding the murder of a son.
Losing the kid, you can't, I wouldn't wish that on an animal. This past weekend, I spent $100 on getting my son a nice little teddy bear, named it after him, and some candles. Street memorials like this one in New Haven are a constant reminder of city violence. While the intentions are to mark where a loved one died, the sites are often marked with trash and liquor bottles, leaving the city alderman to take a stand. Bethia isn't the only one who mourns a lost family member this way. Recently, these makeshift monuments are the subject of growing controversy in the area.
I mean, this is sort of memorializing and making heroes out of everybody that's been killed or whatever.
It lowers the quality of life. The questions are, well, what's prompted this? This must be a bad neighborhood if this has occurred.
The Municipal Service Committee met to discuss legislation limiting the existence of the monuments. The ordinance forces people to have a permit for any memorial.
So once the memorial is erected, they will have 7 days to go and apply for the permit. There's no charge for the permit. And at that time, once the permit is filed, they will have 30 additional days for the existence of the memorial, at which time the city will go ahead and remove it.
Bethia and others say removing any memorial from the community will be problematic.
So what happens? Okay, it stays down there for 30 days. When you come move it, they're going to put it right back up.
The city alderman will host the final vote on December 17th. Until then, for Douglas Bethia, both memories of his son and the memorial on Ashman Street will not be going anywhere. For QNN, I'm Anthony Filiaci.
Yoga has become a popular way to stay in shape, but this fall, New Haven residents combined exercise with a good cause. Q30's Anthony Filiaci has more.
The world may go by fast, but it doesn't always have to.
It's spiritual in nature. It's relaxing.
It makes me feel very peaceful and calm. It relaxes me.
Yes, they're talking about yoga. Around 100 people from the New Haven area gathered here at Edgewood Park to honor the anniversary of September 11th. For most, the event was an effort to spread peace.
The harmony we create with our shared presence will radiate beyond us. just as some people had engaged in acts of violence, it would be good to emphasize positive acts of peace.
These yogis purposely performed 108 series of postures in unison. They did it together to give strength to their message of peace.
Events like this is the correct response to open up to world peace, love, and calmness.
Calm wasn't exactly the word Fontaine Chambers had in mind when she saw this outside her front door.
I was shocked, actually, because I wasn't expecting it. But I heard music, so I just came outside and I was like, oh, wow, what's going on? It's crazy.
Crazy, but not out of the question.
It seems like something I could do, and it's always good to try something new that you'll never do before.
Well, there's always next year. The New Haven Yogis for Peace may be welcoming 2 new yogis. The Yoga for Peace event in Edgewood Park, New Haven was one of 22 across the world. I spoke to the event coordinators and they say they are happy to hear that peace and serenity has stretched across this city. Anthony Filiaci, Q30 News.
New Haven's Youth at Work program keeps teenagers off the streets and out of trouble by giving them jobs around the city. As Anthony Filiaci tells us, the program's successes are often outweighed by other problems.
To many, those sounds are the beginning of a headache. But for Deshaun and Terrell, it's just business as usual. Deshaun and Terrell got their jobs at the New Haven YMCA through the city's Youth at Work program. The program employs New Haven teenagers in over 100 locations around the city. Youth at Work Director Stephanie Barnes says the program ties up loose ends from the classroom.
There's this connection between what's learned in the classroom and what's learned in the workplace. The whole idea is for the student to get the opportunity.
For 17-year-old Deshaun, the opportunity is all about the money.
I finally got a job, and I was making my own money, so I could do whatever I want with my money.
But the greatest satisfaction for Terrell is setting a good example for his younger peers.
They like you, they look up to you too as a good, positive role model. So that's why I don't mind working with kids.
Sadly, Deshaun and Terrell are the lucky ones. While the New Haven Youth at Work program gives many kids around the city jobs, like this one at the YMCA, the program continues its struggles with funding, leaving many youth out of work.
We always have many more applicants than we have jobs available. With city and state dollars sometimes shrinking, and it's a little nerve-wracking.
This year, the program turned away 1/4 of its applicants due mostly to lack of funds, leaving 400 more New Haven teenagers without jobs. According to Terrell, some find other means.
Oh, the kids that sell drugs and stuff, like, they don't need to sell drugs, but they do it because they can't get a job.
Barnes says there is a way to generate more jobs, keeping teenagers off the streets and in the workplace.
There are some cases where if it's a private sector company, they do pay. It's really just imploring upon employers here in the greater New Haven area the need to host students.
This will save the program money, and it will get the ball rolling for more teens in 2008. For Q30 News, I'm Anthony Filiaci. Good morning, Quinnipiac, and welcome to the Morning After. I'm Anthony Filiaci.
And I'm Kristen LeBack. Thank you!
Yes.
Didn't know that was coming. That was nice.
Obviously, we have a little holiday theme going on here, Kristen.
Obviously.
And we're going to thank Kristen LeBack and the rest of the crew for decorating. We do have Jack the cameraman in the studio. Everybody's in the studio today. I keep on saying it. But Jack is in the studio to talk to us about spring flings. It's Dating 101 with Jack the cameraman. It's getting warm, Jack. How you feeling about the ladies out there?
Feeling pretty good.
Christopher Bryson, please report to the main office. Christopher Bryson.
My name is Chris. I've been deaf since I was born. I'm the only deaf person in my whole family. You were sitting next. I'm hearing all these different, weird, complex noises for the first time. People walking, teachers talking.
Stand it, or you just
The bell. It's loud, but it's really amazing because for me, this is totally new.